Good day, everyone. Glad to be with you again on a Monday, noon time, my time in Indianapolis, Indiana. Don't know where you're located. I will tell you today that we were hoping to have our guest, author Mike Morrison, of a brand new book titled Creating Meaningful Change. Mike is not here at this moment. I'm going to visit with you for a couple of moments, and hopefully he arrives. So what I want to tell you is this. If you're here on social media, whatever social channel you might be on, I'd love for you to say hello. Tell us where you're from. And since we're here, you came under the presumption that we were going to talk about creating change. If you have questions for me about leading change, championing change, creating change, I'll be happy to take any of those as well. So as we wait for and hopefully have Mr. Morrison join us here shortly, I told Lisa, our producer, that I would tap dance for a couple of minutes. And I thought the way I'd start to do that is to do what I always do at the start of these, which is ask you to say hello and tell us where you're from. So put that in the comments, whatever social channel that you're on. And if you have an initial question for me, feel free to ask it. I can see those comments from whatever channel you're on based on the platform that I'm in. And I would love to see them. So just a couple of comments while I wait for you to decide to share, is that the reality is, as leaders, we are in the change business. As human beings, change is all around us. And many people say that there's more change that affects us today than at any time in human history. And whether that's completely true or not, I don't know. But I know there's plenty of it for us. And so as humans, we face it. As leaders, sometimes we are thrust into change situations. But what we're hoping to have a conversation with Mr. Morrison about is how do we actually create the change that we want and create the positive change that we want and need. And so I can tell you that hopefully he is okay, and that if we're not able to do it today, we will do it soon. But that's the premise under which we were going to operate. And welcome to you in Saudi Arabia. As our first person to say hello, I'll say hello to you. And so that's what you can do, is you can say hello. And so I think it's incumbent on us as leaders to realize that we're in the change business. As humans, change is all around us, but as leaders, we want to be creating meaningful change, the change that will make a difference for our teams and our organizations, our communities, and our world. And so I was excited to have Mike on, and hopefully we'll be able to put that back together here shortly. So I told Lisa, our producer, I would go for 3 or 4 minutes unless Mike arrived or unless you all had comments or questions for me. So I will give it another minute or so. Unless you've got a question, I'm happy to answer anything that you've got, anything that you want us to talk about. And I would show you Mike's book, but I don't have a copy. I was reading it from a digital review copy. So Mohammed, welcome to you from Jordan. I've been to Jordan. We've got Iran in the house. We've also got Columbus, Ohio, and Michigan. And for those in the U.S., know that those two aren't always compatible, but that's okay. And let's see. Now, there we go. Desiree is in Southampton, the UK, looking to learn a bit more about change in our almost perma-crisis world. Perma-crisis. Desiree, I think you may have created a new word there. I've heard of permafrost, but never permaculture. Permacrisis. And hello, Mary from Montreal. So we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 countries represented, which just proves a point. And that is that we're all dealing with change wherever we are. And maybe we're in an almost perma-crisis world, according to Desiree. And so, like I said, I was looking forward to having Mike on with us, and fully expect that we can get him back on another day. I don't know what happened. And so what I'm going to do now, unless someone has a question for me, if you do, by all means, ask away. But otherwise, what I'm going to do is tell you this, that there are a number of sessions, past Remarkable Leadership podcast episodes that have been about change. So my recommendation to you is to go to remarkablepodcast.com and search on the word change, and you'll find, I don't know, probably 15 or 20 episodes. You'll find one or more episodes that would probably be helpful to you. There's even some Desiree, about crisis management that might help you as well based on your comment. And so I'd encourage you to go there, because if you don't know, what we do here on all these social channels, most every Monday and some other days of the week as well, is we do live video sessions like this with a guest that eventually become a episode on the Remarkable Leadership Podcast. You see that up in the corner of the screen. So you can always go to remarkableleadershippodcast.com, or you can go search on my name on YouTube to find all the past episodes in video form there as well. So I'd encourage you to do that in terms of thinking more about change. And like I said, we'll work to get Mr. Morrison back on with us in the future. Until then, I hope you have a fabulous day. If there's anything at all that I can do to help, you know how to reach me on whatever social channel that you're on. Please do that. And we'll talk to you soon. Thanks. Have a great day, everybody.